Okay, let's start with the rear tire here. Got the new bearing, and it's got nice seals on the cages on both sides. Doesn't matter which side goes in where. You don't need to grease these. You know what, a little bit of grease on here might help. Let me grab some real quick. Just a real thin coat should do the job. And like I said on the steering bearings, this is such a tight interference fit. Sticking these in the freezer just doesn't do anything. I'm sure it does on other bikes, but these are tight, especially these aftermarket all balls. Very good looking bearing. Now we need to drive them in completely flat. So I got a big matching size socket. And you only ever want to pound on the outer race. You touch that inner one, well, you got to start over. So I'm going to hold this on here. Actually, I'm probably going to flip it around here so it's nice and flat. You know, I don't want to be hitting that race at all. So I'll take it easy here, go around it just to get it seated. Should go in pretty easily. It's a little slippery and a little awkward. Alright, now it's seated in there a little bit. I should be able to just drive it straight down. And when we hear it thunk instead of ping, we know it's all the way in. Just about there. That should do it. Alright. One down, one to go. Now we're going to flip it over, put in the spacer. I already hit these bearing surfaces with brake cleaner. Make sure they're all good and clean. Careful when setting it down. We're just touching that other bearing on the other side. And you know what? I might as well throw down a towel because I don't really feel like that getting dinged up at all. Oh no, it's just hitting the drum surface. That's fine. That's nice and big and flat. There we go. Wouldn't hurt to throw down a towel, but this isn't moving around. It's not jumping at all. So now we take another bearing, actually our spacer first. And we've got two different lengths, one for the front, one for the rear. Do not mix them up. And I'm going to clean these off real quick here. Not sure which is which yet. I'm assuming the long one goes in the back, but you know what they say about assumptions. Alright, now I know that this should go all the way down, touch the other bearing, and be right flush with the inner shoulder here. So I'll start with the long one first, and there we go. That should do it. Obviously this shorter one would be too short, so I know that's right. Okay. Rinse and repeat. Grab a little grease again. Now this side looks like it goes in a bit deeper. The other one sat flush. And this one is going to be driven down several more millimeters. The bearing, socket. We'll start it gently and then drive it home. Bada bing, bada boom. You can feel the spacer in there. It's aligned right. Good to go. Well, let's do the front, and then these will be ready to go to the tire shop. Now on the front, we've got 2 new bearings and 2 new seals. Get them all ready to go. 1 seal. 2 seals. Flat side always faces the outside. The inner spring side goes towards the bearing. 1 seal or 1 bearing and 2. These go in exactly the same way. There we go, that one will work. You need it to match because when the bearing has to go just past the surface of the wheel, you need to be able to drive it in, but you don't want it too narrow that it's going to be slipping off. So let's get this seated in real quick. And drive it home. You know what, I'm going to get a slightly bigger one. I just want a little better fit on the bearing. Well, I couldn't find anything just a tiny, tiny hair bigger, so this will work fine. I'll just go side to side. And there we go. Now we'll drive it home. And a ping, and we're seated. A little dab of grease again at the very top. Pop in a seal. Quick tap. That's good to go. A bit of grease on the inside of the seal. It'll be ready for the axle. Flip it around. Put in our spacer after I clean it. Okay. More grease. Now this one sets down in deeper. There are engagement cogs here for the speedometer. This is going to go right in the center of it all. Last bearing. And it's quite a snug fit, let me tell you what. It's got to come past those fingers and then down into the actual interference fit. Grease the fingers a little more. Nope, guess it doesn't want to come back out. That's fine. And we'll gently start it again. Pass the fingers down into the hub. And seated. A little bit of grease again. Is that all the way in? Let me give it another wrap. It sounds like it, and it feels like it, but there's not much room left there. Yeah, that's definitely in. Alright, now I've got to consult the manual again, because I'm not sure if this side gets a seal or not. I kind of remember only taking one out, but if I put this in here, then it's going to eat up some of the space, and it doesn't really seal. I don't think this takes another seal on this side, so let me check the manual real quick. And my hunch was correct. No seal on that side. The speedometer hub seals that up. So that's done. Awesome. Now I really am just waiting on the client to get here so I can take off and get these over to the shop, and I should have these back today. Then I can put the brakes on tonight, get them back on the bike, and be ready for all the big parts coming tomorrow. Woohoo! I just ran the wheels and tires up to my local shop. They couldn't get them done today because the client was late, and I got up there just before close, so they'll be back tomorrow. Totally fine with that. I've got the new adapter onto the HID bulb. I've got my homemade shield. It's on there real well. It's got a little zip tie. That should work completely fine. The bulb does move. Now I'm taking a 50-50 guess which way it's supposed to go. It tilts one direction. It goes from straight to a little bit tilted. Now the tilted I know is the high beam, and I think it has to tilt up to change the reflection more towards the bottom. That's my guess. If I put it on the bike and I find out that the beam tilts down, then I just need to come in here and flip everything around 180 degrees. No big deal there. I wiped the bulb off with alcohol because I did bump it with my hands a couple times getting all this in. The manufacturing tolerances on these metal parts, this collar that goes in with 3 little legs into the adapter, sucks. The collar on this other light had better spacing to the holes, but the collar on, or no, this collar, this is the new one that came, had better spacing, but the old one had a better size of ears. They went through the holes. The holes on this adapter are just slightly smaller than the other ones. So what I had to do is take my tin snips and cut down the ears on this collar down here just to get it to fit in. So now I'm going to put it into the light assembly here carefully. Yay, it fits. Put down our locking spring. That's a slightly different fit. There we go. So now it's in totally secure. And so this is the right side up. That looks totally stock. Can't even see that aluminum foil in there. Unless you're specifically told about it, you wouldn't know what it is. Awesome. Alright, let's move on. For the new seat bracket and fender assembly and everything, I do have to cut the frame. I got instructions ahead of the parts coming tomorrow from Blue Collar Bobbers, and this is where they want them cut off. So I've got my line marked. I'm just going to cut these ears off for the stock fender mounts. Those have to go away. And I've got a little bit of cutting to do on the plastic battery box, and that should be it. So I've got a nice fresh bimetal blade, and we're just going to make 2 quick cuts straight down there. Doesn't have to be perfect, won't be seen, and I'll just deburr and paint that edge when we're done. You know what, I want to throw a towel over that. One. Two. Bada bing, bada boom. Well, I might be going a little crazy. I was just about to do lubricating the clutch cable, and I've got my cable luber, and I can't find my can of cable lube. I ordered this, came in a few months ago. I got it for the FJR when it needed it, and I swear I ordered it with a can of cable lube. Now there's two possibilities. Well, three. One, I just put the can someplace that I don't normally put my cans, which is very strange because I have a couple shelves just for all my cans. Two is the wife put it somewhere, you know, using it on some other project around the house, which she occasionally does, and she never puts things back. Three, I just ordered this, and my intention was to pick up a local can of cable lube, but I really don't think that's the case. I can picture the can in my head. I think it's blue, and it says cable lube in yellow, maybe red. But I remember ordering a kit. So I'm going to take another good look, because I want to get this cable lube tonight and wrap up this video. Stand by. Well, no go on the cable lube, and I ran down to Walmart. They don't carry it either, so I'll have to go up to the dealer tomorrow morning. I must just be going crazy, and I didn't order it. I even looked on my Amazon account and my eBay account. It's not even on there, so I may have ordered it through the wife's account, so I can't even see if I did order it or not. Probably just going nuts. Anyway, I'll pick a can of that up in the morning. Then the wheels and tires, and these bugs are going crazy, should be ready, and I'll pick those up. And by that time, the shipment should be here, and I am going to skip that meeting tomorrow, so I'm going to be working on this all day. And, whew, I mean, I'll have stuff ordered to the painters, and I'm going to have pretty much everything else ready. And we've got, like, once it comes back from paint, 1 or 2 days, and that's it. So, really excited. Thanks for watching, guys. Don't forget to subscribe. Give me a thumbs up. Question of the day: was there one particular motorcycle that got you interested in motorcycling? Maybe it was something a family member had, or a friend, or something in your childhood. For me, it was honestly a magazine article about the FJR, and I remember it being a touring shootout. This was back, early 2000s. And that's kind of what me got thinking, like, wow, this, I live in Florida now, really good roads. I never considered getting a motorcycle. I mean, I was interested in it, but never seriously up in Michigan, because the roads suck, and you get 3-4 months of the year where it's really good. I was stupid enough to have jet skis up there, and believe me, that was a bad enough decision. But motorcycle, same way, man. You just don't have the weather up there. So I didn't even really consider it in my life until much later, till I was down here in Florida. But let me hear stories about what got you interested in motorcycling. That's it. See you later, guys.